I like when she, like, comes into the library and she's, like, meeting him for the
Yeah.
first time, and she's like, "Oh, you told me to be gentle, like, the first time that we have this meeting." Um, and he's like, "What?" And he's just, like, ruining his life. He's just, like, drinking, he's a mess.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't
Well, because he doesn't know how to control his condition or whatever. So he's
Mhm.
like,
"Hi, I'm Kit.
and I'm Cade,
We're real people."
doing real reviews.
We are continuing our theme of time travel, and, if you have been following along with season 3, we are doing stories that stick. These are the selections that Kate and I have made for the things that have shaped our perspective on cinema and how we critique movies. This is your pick. What did you pick?
Yes. I picked The Time Traveler's Wife.
Of course he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously the notebook didn't fit into any of our categories, so we went with the next best thing
We're gonna use
and
Rachel
time travel.
McAdams either way. This is how it is. Okay. Why?
Why?
Why
I
did
don't
you choose,
well,
one?
I mean, to stay on theme,
Mhm.
which, sometimes I question you staying on theme in movies, but to stay on theme, I would say this was a cool kind of time travel where it's actually kind of a scientific genetic condition
Mhm.
that then causes the time travel. Like, it's not a machine, it's not a door that opens,
Mhm.
it's not a vehicle, it's not capsules, it's not aliens.
Mhm.
It's something in the human race that, in our genetics changes that then thus allows him to be able to travel through time.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool concept. I mean, like,
Yeah, it's very yeah, the
it,
DNA, very, like,
the scene.
superhero
Yeah,
style for sure. Yeah. Did you think that, like, when you were thinking about this aspect and why this movie stood out to you for time travel, was it the actors? Was it that key element? Was it
Oh, I would say one, I think like the concept of the actual time travel is cool,
Mhm.
but I also, I love love, great love story.
He does.
Um, yeah, and the acting's really good in it, as well as I think that this storyline hasn't been done before or after, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's like a good movie that
Mhm.
isn't like anything else.
It's true, and it's adapted screenplay adapted from a novel.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's not a sequel. There's this was the full like aspect, and there's
The daughter grows up, it could be kind of a cool second
second.
story,
Okay,
with genetics.
yeah. Do you feel like it's obvious from the get go with the plot of this story that it is going to be about love and time travel? Like, do you think it's like kind of off the hop?
Hmm, maybe. I
Hmm.
mean, I feel like I mean, the way they've marketed it and
Hmm.
even the title alone,
Yeah,
I think you assume
yeah.
it's gonna be a love story.
I like when she, like, comes into the library and she's, like, meeting him for the
Yeah.
first time, and she's like, "Oh, you told me to be gentle, like, the first time that we have this meeting." Um, and he's like, "What?" And he's just, like, ruining his life. He's just, like, drinking, he's a mess.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't
Well, because he doesn't know how to control his condition or whatever. So he's
Mhm.
like, you know, had kind of a bad childhood.
Yeah,
His mom died in a car accident.
he witnessed it.
He witnessed it because he jumped out of the car because that was the first time that he jumped
Yeah.
as far as time. So then he actually saw it happen.
Mhm.
And then obviously then he had a rough childhood because
Mhm.
um
The dad struggled
the
a
dad
lot.
struggled with it. So
Mhm.
so yeah. So yeah, it's interesting that like again another movie where it's showing different perspectives and kind of how it laps back and forth
Mhm.
um between like this older and younger version of himself and kind of toying with that.
Yeah, and communicating with himself to try to give himself some comfort on this crazy life experience that he's
Yeah.
having kind of alone. So what happens with this movie is that every time he jumps, he's nude.
Yeah.
So your clothes stay put.
Oh,
And
it's kinda like The Rapture. Well, supposedly.
well, I'm like, when was
In the
that? Did
books.
I miss it? I what?
Just the books, where everyone loses their clothes,
They lose their clothes. Back
which is
to
also kinda current.
yeah,
Didn't happen, but people are talking about it.
yeah. Adam and Steve. All right. We
Yeah.
so when he's yeah, so he's giving himself like comfort throughout it because he every time he's in these scenarios, he's in danger, he's nude, he has to like learn how to. He's constantly in survival mode, and then went through a loss with somebody who he cared for, immensely, and then this woman enters and is like, I know you, I know that you time travel, and I've known
Yeah.
you for a long time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fascinating from that standpoint. So then they, like, agree to a dinner, and then he finally jumps
Mm-hmm.
to see her for the first time
Yeah.
as a child.
As a child, and there's so many elements in this film where we couldn't believe how well they did a depiction of being detail oriented throughout the life of
Mhm.
these people. And so, this when Rachel McAdams character enters the library, the first thing she asks the librarians, something I noticed was like, do you have paper making books on how to make paper? And then she notices him, and he's a historian at this library. And uh and then you notice throughout the film, like, you'll see her in the studio making the paper. You'll see her artwork kind of progressively on the walls in the background of their home, the paper. Like, they just really cared about seeing timeline progression in the appropriate places, and that really helped because this film is, now you're a child, now you're much older, and now you're the older man talking to her as a child. Now you're this, now you're that. So the way that they did the sets actually super helped you stay grounded on, like, what is this story here? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Teacups actually had tea in them.
they sure did. It was not a random
Yeah.
yeah, character
No,
moment.
very cute. Because then it's, like, basically her whole life, she's grown up knowing him,
Mhm.
which is kinda cool,
Yep.
from that standpoint. I would think it's cool, you probably think it's creepy
Mhm.
based on other movies we've watched, we'll get to that later.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
no spoilers yet. Yeah, so they discuss it, um, and, he sees her, like, a few more times as a child. She leaves clothes for him
Yeah.
each time, which kinda plays through the whole movie as well, which is kinda cute.
Yeah.
But, they're obviously still going. She like, it's kinda funny that, like, they realize they get into an argument in kinda, like, present day,
Mhm.
and then he time travels to see her as, like, a teenager,
Mhm.
and that's, like, the first time that he, like, kissed her,
Mhm.
but then she knows something's wrong or something's upset,
Mhm.
and then he comes back, and then they talk about it, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, this is what it was about." So it's
Oh,
kinda like these cool kind of aha moments where they
yeah. Or piecing things together later.
piecing things together later,
Mhm.
because then it happens again as far as, like, they keep trying to have a baby. They
Mhm.
realize that the baby is time traveling or
Mhm. In the womb.
yeah,
Mhm.
or they assume that's what's happening.
Yep. Mhm.
And so then he's like, "Well, I don't wanna see you in pain. I don't wanna see you in this misery. I'm gonna just take care of it."
Mhm.
And so he goes and he gets a vasectomy,
Mhm.
and she is so upset with him.
Yep. She is upset, so then she takes it upon herself in an earlier time before this vasectomy where he has traveled to see her. She seduces him, and then she has a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're working with a geneticist, which is, a doctor the whole time that's trying to figure out, like, how can we keep the baby? How can we keep you safe? How can we,
Mhm.
keep you here longer? Maybe can we fight the time travel? Can you stay here? Can you? And he's, like, really on this journey with them, and he's, like, a good guy who's trying to figure it out with them, which is very
Yeah.
cool. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Backing up a little bit, I remember that scene kinda early on when he met her, they're dating,
Mhm.
and he's in the alleyway picking a fight, and he's wearing, like, these girls, like, Daisy Dukes and, like, a little tank top.
Little frilly little frilly tank top.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that scene because he's fighting because you just basically put on clothes whatever is closest
Yeah.
to you, and he's hidden them all over the city, but he was caught without them, and one of the buddies of the girl he's dating, which becomes, his future wife, sees him fighting in these Daisy Dukes and this tank top, and he's, like, fighting, and he's like, "Bro, what's going on? And also, what are you wearing?" And he's like, "They're homophobes."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Come with me," and he's, like, going to find, like, where he's hidden his clothes, and we thought, "What an interesting place to make a point," you know? And, it's really well done. It's in this place where he's going to tell the best friend that he is, um, that he time travels. Rachel's character knows about it. This is what it is. And he's like, "What? That's wild." And then he witnesses it. He goes to tell Rachel. Rachel's like, "I know, I've known since I was a child." And like their friendship works around like protecting him. And, but that scene where he's fighting, we were like, oh, like, and I don't know if it's written in the book, and we thought, what a great point. You know what I mean? To, kind of be in this position where he's in danger all the time. And, but this time he was in danger because of that perception, which was really interesting. Mm.
Also, too, like, I think for the people creating the movie, like, that could have been anything, but
Mhm,
I think that it was kinda cool that they used
mhm,
the platform and the movie to make a statement like that,
mhm.
because it doesn't really necessarily add any value to the full storyline
No.
whatsoever,
Mm-mm.
but, like, it is kind of a scene that does stick out.
Mhm,
That's Yeah, I thought that was kinda cool just from that standpoint that,
mhm,
hey, like, it added to the story, but also too, it is kind of something that's, if you look at, like, the political climate and everything else going on at the time that the movie was created,
mhm.
cool for them to
Also,
add
look at
that
the
in the movie.
political climate now. You guys okay? We're worried. We're you come up here.
Uh,
That's okay. But it is true, and we loved it, but it also made me think of how often when he's just grabbing clothes is he putting himself into a position of being a target.
well, yeah, because
Mhm,
they like, later on, like, he has to learn how to pick locks. He
mhm,
knows how to, like, get away from, like, police or
mhm,
stay under the radar. Basically, he's just trying
mhm,
to find clothes as fast as he can, wait it out, and
mhm.
then, he disappears again,
Yep.
kinda thing.
Mhm.
So, yeah, wild from that standpoint.
Yep. Mhm.
But then he, basically time travels, and he actually meets his daughter
Mhm.
later in life, which was cool.
It is very cool. It's also interesting because he's in this he disappears for 3 weeks because he imagine, like, because we can talk about, like, they obviously they get married, it's his wife. He marries this character. She's fully understanding the lifestyle that she's about to enter into where he can
Mm,
just
yeah,
disappear many Christmases alone, and then there's this scene where he's been away for, like, 3 weeks, and he, like, walks in, and she's, like, rushing out the door because she has to go use somebody else's art place because she blah, 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 and he's like and he uses his gift to win the lottery, which I think that so many people, when they watch movies where you can time travel, you're like, "You win the lottery!" Like, that's such an instant thought, like, you could change it, and he's like, My gift has a lot of" me time traveling has a lot of downfall, and I recognize
mhm,
that, but this is something that I can do, and so he helps her win the lottery, helps her find a home that has a studio on the property, and, he
yeah,
just kept looking at these houses, and he would, like, look in the backyard to be like, "Have I time traveled to the studio yet?" And he would look for the studio, and
yeah,
he's like, "What is happening?" And it's very cool because you're like, "Okay," like, he's doing his best to try to take care of her because he isn't in control. He can't control his time travel, which is why, again, they're working with this doctor to see, like, is there anything they can do?
for sure.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, I think you had a good point. This is a hard movie to recap because there's jumping all over the place.
Yes. But the toughest part is near the end of the movie, he is aware of when he's
Mm.
going to die, which started like a huge conversation
Well,
between
that
you and
it kind yeah, it
Mhm,
kinda started as far as when he first meets his daughter.
mhm,
She also mentions
mhm.
that he's no longer there.
Yeah,
So
it
he knows that she survives
yeah,
in the womb, but then is not sure where he is.
yeah, yeah. And you're like, "Oh, how heartbreaking," but also cool that you traveled past your life to, like, meet
Yeah.
this version, and, as the date gets closer to when he passes away, which is, really interestingly shot too, um, we started talking about, like, would we wanna know?
Yeah.
If you knew,
And
like,
I
you yeah, would you? And you wrote what was your thoughts?
well, I think I started crying.
You did not wanna know?
No, I would not wanna know. Not
Mm-mm.
for me, not for my person.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
No, and as they're kind of going through this timeline where she's like, he's prepping the daughter, he's prepping the people around his wife, he's like it's
Yeah.
the day, you're gonna see this, he observes it from different angles at different points in his
Yeah.
life, like his passing away as it goes closer.
Which
And
is also cool because then the daughter is starting to time travel to, like,
yeah,
take care of her younger self
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
So, like, there's that scene where the mom's like, "Who's that
with
the
my daughter.
with her daughter?" And he's like, "That's both of them," or
Mhm.
"That's still her."
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently like today's the day, like it's gonna be a bad day.
It's gonna be a bad day, yeah.
Yeah, and you could not imagine, like, that as your own reality,
No,
like, to
well,
know.
yeah. To know, I think it would definitely put pressure on everything.
Mhm.
Like, we have to make the memories, we have to go do the things, we have to
Yeah, you don't feel like it'd be, like, an authentic life because 'cause you'd have stress and pressure
yeah.
knowing that.
Yeah, because then, like, the bad days would be, like, really bad days where I'd be like, "Oh, I blew it. We only had so much time left,"
Mhm.
kinda thing. But for you, you were like, "Absolutely, I would like to know," because things would be different.
Because
Basically, the complete opposite of what I thought, you'd be like, everything would be better.
Yeah, I think
See?
me too.
Alright.
I was like, back to the good versus evil talks,
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
exactly.
yeah, and, I'm curious, like, if you are, like, watching this or, maybe you're on social media with us, if you I would love to know, like, who would like to know and who would rather not. For me, the reason why I would like to know is because I am somebody who in my normal day-to-day kit life, I'm very driven, I'm super ambitious, I'm constantly thinking in terms of progression, and, when I'm in the moment, it's, like, scheduled, like, for I'm in the moment, I'm having this is my family time, I'm in the moment, we're doing this thing, and so I know that if it was, like, the last year, and it was that last year, that I would cut out the things that I didn't feel like were going to be progressive unless it was legacy, and I would make more time for in that moment. I don't think I would behave or be any different. That's what he was thinking. Like I wouldn't. I would just be more available and emotionally available and more present, knowing that that time was like coming. And
I think she would also keep the secret.
I would keep it a secret. I would hide it really well.
Yeah.
There's no way people would know.
Mhm. I
Yeah,
can't do that, yeah. I'd be like, "Well,
we have
July
4
13,
days.
time's ticking."
I'd be like, oh, okay. Should we go on an adventure? Like,
Yeah.
it would be we had very different takes, yeah. I think also because we talked about this too, I know the people in in my life and in my family and how they would like, what they would need, and so it would give me a time to, like, quietly set that up.
I'd be very sad if you left
Oh,
me.
yeah, well, I'd leave you stuff too. I'd set you up too. I'm not going anywhere. We're healthy and happy over here.
Yeah, yes.
I love this conversation because I think that people do feel very strongly one way or the other, and,
Yeah,
it is typically an emotional response of, like, yes or
absolutely.
no. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely the Notebook. I would die of heartbreak shortly after.
You oh.
So I better go first, just saying. It's Cade and Kit. Anyways, um, very morbid thought. Back to the end of the movie.
Remember that we started with horror movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be too surprised that we go down these trains of thought. Um, what did you end up rating this movie?
I rate this movie an 8. I think, 1, I like a good story that, like, love transcends time,
Hmm.
as well as it'd be interesting to and something I didn't look up in this movie is I wonder if they actually told her
Mhm.
what version he was gonna be in the actual scene, or if he just showed up
Being older or
and, like,
younger.
with gray in his hair, and then she had to, like, play off of that
Yeah.
in that, and I wonder if that would've made because it felt very real the
Mhm.
whole time and the way the acting was integrated in between the 2.
Mhm.
So, like the wedding scene or even at the end when he shows back up. Obviously, he dies because he time travels to
See.
the little meadow,
Mhm.
and his stepfather shoots the gun, and it shoots him
Mhm.
by accident. And so, like, all of these things happen because he goes back to the same places. But,
Mhm.
like those kinds of scenes, I think it was just a really cool, well done movie, as well as, I love a good love story. So, of course, I'm going to rate it high.
Mhm.
8 for me. What'd you rate it?
I gave it a 6, which I feel like is high for a love story.
You know, If I think five's good. Yeah, five's average.
But it's
So
a little
6 is above average. Yeah.
I really appreciated.
Warm love story.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciated, I think, that it was different.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting. I thought that the attention to detail was incredible
Mm,
in the set to dialogue, and I really thought that, Rachel was her acting was really there. I felt for her when she was in those moments of alone, like, there's even a section of her wedding where she's alone, she's not sure, right? And she's chosen this life where she's kind of angry because she's like, "I didn't really choose it because 'cause I've been
yeah.
talking to you since I was a child." Um, and she's frustrated because she's like, "It's magical and it's so special, and I have this beautiful daughter, and, like, I am in this home, and there's so many things that are great, but a lot of this was isolating." And so I appreciate how that was played out because I think that's something that as I was watching it, I'm like, "What an interesting choice, like, to choose a love where you're going to be alone."
Mhm.
And so I thought that that honored a 6. Yeah.
However, or but,
No, that's
well, how come your movie rated a 7 and this one rated a 6?
well, mine was better by 1.
By 1. Because there was more action?
I think that my love story, because well, first of all, we're not rating love story, we're rating
No.
time travel
Time
to time
travel.
travel. Yours,
This both happen to be love story.
they just both happen to include a love story, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not rating it based on love story, I'm rating it based on
Do you think that's on the trope of, like,
hmm,
love transcends time?
yes. Yours, yes.
Mine.
Yours
Yours
didn't.
is no?
Mm,
I think yours too.
no.
Yeah, because they kept connecting and then they kept pushing them apart.
I think that for high achievers, there are elements that they feel like that there's no way they could have created that for themselves, and that's more what I got out of that was, like, people who are high
Mm.
achieving, the reasons why they're high achieving didn't really matter, but there's elements and outside influences that were helping them get to different places, and if they didn't do those things, they would get a version of, and I feel like that's true in life. So I feel like it's more of a lifeline than a love story for me. That was my interpretation.
Hence the extra point. Got it.
If you are watching on a broadcast channel, stay tuned. The next one will be doing a different theme. If you are
Yes.
listening on a podcast, we are on Apple and Spotify, and we're also on social media. Do you want to give out
Yep.
the handle?
At Cade and Kit.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.